Alrighty guys, we are down at the shooting bench here, shooting 100 yards like always. Well, I guess the only time we're not shooting 100 yards is if we're sighting in a rifle. That's about it. But anytime we're going for groups, other than the 22 long rifle, it's all at 100. Sighting in scopes and shooting the 22, that's usually at 50. But 50 and then 100. Either way guys, we're shooting the 308, as you guys can see. We are going to shoot the final test of the 168 grain match boat tail hollow point. So what I went with, we're going to do one more after this. I didn't get both loaded up. I'm going to do that tonight after we shoot this. So I went with, obviously the smallest group I went with, which was 39.2 grains, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check, so I'm not staring you guys wrong. So 39.2 grains of Varget, all at 20 off the lands. That produced the smallest group we shot with that bullet so far. But as you guys could tell in the last video of 308, 10 off the lands was pretty freaking small too. That ended up being 0.370 or something, and the smallest group was 20 off the lands at 0.338 or 3 something, 336 or whatever it was. So honestly, they're not far behind. And 25 thousandths off the lands produced a really good group as well. That was, I think, just over 4 or maybe 5, but it was half inch or under, I'm pretty sure. Either way, so I am going to do 2. This one is the 20 thousandths off the lands of 39.2 grains. We're going to do 4 5-shot groups, and we got 3 fowlers. And after this, like I said, once I get done shooting this, I'm going to load up probably the same thing, 3 or 4 5-shot groups of the second final test. We'll put them head to head, and if 10 thousandths off the lands ends up shooting an overall smaller group out of all 4 groups, then the 20 thousandths off the lands, then we'll go with, we'll call 10 thousandths our load. If 20 thousandths shoots smaller, then we'll call 20 thousandths our load. So that's how I'm going to kind of play this. And then we got to move on. We got to move on to another bullet. Not quite sure what I want to move on to yet. I think I want to order a bullet. We're going to move to 22 Creedmoor for a little bit, so I got time to order. I'd like to get a burger bullet for a 308. I don't have a burger bullet, and I would also like to get an SMK for 308. The only bullets I really have right now for 308, most of them are all hunting bullets. I have Nosler and Hornady and Spear, but those are all hunting. So for match, the only ones I really have is just Hornady, I'm pretty sure. Alright guys, let me go hang the target here and get all set up, and we'll get the show on the road. Alright guys, so we're getting started. I got 3 fowlers. I have to sight this in because I took the scope off. I reset the headspace. Well, I messed with the headspace, thinking, in the last video I kind of talked about it a little bit, but thinking that I had the headspace just a hair too tight. I usually set it on the tight side, but this action just it had a heavy, so I had an easy bolt lift up until about here, and then it just clicked and had a heavy, like a, so it went from easy to tough right here, and then just clicks. Well, I realized this had nothing to do with the headspace once I got it all apart and everything, and it's the springs, the firing springs on the inside of the Savage Action is freaking garbage, man. They're awful. But yeah, I wanted to double check. you know, if it had something to do with the headspace. I wanted to double check my headspace anyways, and I was thinking maybe that was it, why it was doing it, and it wasn't. So either way, a few of these are going to be trying to sight it in. I know it's right about, it's bore sighted, so I have it just, I think it's shooting a little low, but we'll see here. Hold on. I should shoot the plate, but so I got 4 dots on the very bottom and two above that row, all the way to the right, that are empty. So I'm gonna shoot the first one on those 2 for the fowlers and adjust it from there. As you guys can see there, it's quite a bit low. Oh, this isn't my mill, this is my MOA, so. So 2 MOA down. I want to back off just a teeny bit because I'm just going to set this to it hitting a little low. Kind of like the Creedmoor. The Creedmoor's hitting low, so maybe I'll have it even with it, just hitting a little bit right. That bullet was 2476. Alright, I'm not going to do anything with the windage. Alright, I'm gonna make it a couple clicks. Alright, I did 3 clicks. I went the wrong way, so I had to read. That one was 2465. Everything looks good. I just want it shooting outside the dot a little bit on the either left or right side. It's going to be the right side, but I don't really care what side. Alright, I'm going to do 3 more clicks. Alright, 3 more. That should bring it just on the outside of the dot, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're shooting on the bottom row now. That one was 2442. So the SD of those 3 was 14. The average was 2461, 14 SD, and a 33.7 ES. Alright. Alright, moving on. Let's start the groups. Chronograph is reset. We're shooting first one on the bottom all the way to the left. Alright, 2421. For anybody who don't know the load, it's 39.2 grains of Varget, CCI BR2 primers, 3 times Alpha brass, and yeah, Varget BR2s, and 168 grain Hornady match, open tip match. Alright, that shot was 2421. Don't really got to worry about brass or anything, because we're only 2,400 feet per second here, so, and I saw no signs with the last, last load of this, so we should be good. That was 2448. $24.71. It's walking over to the right. Let me make sure my torqued everything down. $24.58. Come on, you fucker. The last four all settled in a little bit further to the right. I'm gonna click it in a little bit now. I don't want it that far right. Alright, did 2 clicks. Should bring it right to the right of the... I don't mind it touching the dot, I just don't want it shooting out the center of the dot. Alright, it's going to be next dot over. Alright, so that one was 2466. We have an average of 2453. We have an SD of 17.6 and an ES of 50 even. Alright, reset the chronograph. And let's move to the next group. Alright, next group here. Next dot on the right. Or next one in from the left. Exactly where I want it. Alright, that one was 2422. Everything looks good. Barrel's not even warm yet. $24.46. $24.26. $24.51. 2432. Another nice group. Just the first one kind of went its own little path. The last four went through the pretty much same hole, but it's a bigger hole because it's 308. So we have an average of 2495. We have an SD of an 11.3 and an ES of 29.1. Alright, let's move on. Alright, moving on to the third group. This load's shooting really good so far. I've had one straggler on each group so far, but the other four just pretty much hone in on one little area. I'll look like under an inch here, but .2447. Barrel's now just getting warm. Man, 2438. .2404. .2448. Damn, that's a good load so far. That looks good. One little straggler here and there. You know, could obviously part of that's me. Looks like the straggler's going in the same spot each time too, just outside of the group, left a little bit. Yep, yep, it is. All right, so that last one was 2444. We have a total average of 2436. We have an SD of 16.4 and ES of 43.7. Alright guys, we've got one more to go. I'm probably going to let the barrel cool a little bit. I can keep my hand on it. It's not outrageous. But yeah, it's enough to want to let it cool for a second. Alright, be right back. Alright, let's get this last group shot here. We're nice and cooled back down. Hopefully this group doesn't mess up with a fouler or anything. I mean, without a fouler. Alright, chronograph is reset. We are on the last dot. Alright, that one was 2439. 24-22. $24.81. $24.77. I don't like the bolt throw of this action, but I will say one good thing about it is I can just chuck a bullet in there and just send it home pretty much every time, and it don't get fetched up. It's one thing with the Remington action, feeding from the mag is, you know, pretty flawless, but just chucking one in, don't like it. This one, no problem. But the bolt throw is god awful. Yeah, man, from back here, that looks like a good group. I mean, a good load. I'm still going to do the 10,000s off the lands. I still have some bullets left, so I'm going to try and do this, repeat the same exact thing. I think I have enough bullets for 4 or 5 round groups. And yeah, we will repeat this test with same exact thing, just 10,000s off the lands, and see which one wins. But this put up a good showing, I'll tell you. We'll measure them up at the bench, but that looks pretty good. Alright, that last shot was 24-25. We have an average of 24.49. We have an SD of 25.2 and an ES of 58.5. So yet again, pretty awful everything on chronograph today. Our best was an 11 SD with a 29 ES. Our best SD is the 11. It's the same load, 11.3 and 29.1 ES. So yeah, the FPS pretty much hovered no wild. I guess there is one kind of wild outlier. We went from 24.53 average up to 24.95, so that's a decent little jump, back down to 24.36 to 24.49. So yet again, this load was hovering at the 24.50 mark, and I would say the overall average of this group, or these FPSs, is about the same, 24.50, with one kind of outlier. I'm going to get all packed up here, and we'll measure the groups up on the bench, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, we're back up at the bench. We're not going to look at brass. We already know this load's good. I took a quick look over it and didn't really see anything, or I would have shown you, but didn't see anything that is worth showing you guys, at least. So yeah, we know the brass is good. We know the load is way under pressure. 24.50 FPS is low for 308. I would say 2600 would be your go-to for 308, and below that is, I wouldn't say 2450 is like outrageously under, but it's under. It's definitely under. So let's look at groups. So foulers we don't going to look at. So first group is here. We got 4 through 1 hole, or you know, whatever, a little wide hole here, and then that was the first bullet. So not really sure what happened there. Let's zero out these calipers. So the first group was Alright, right here, final test. First group was 2453 average velocity, 17 SD, and a 50 ES. So not very good all throughout the day, not very good chronograph stats anyways, but so we're looking at a total group size at about 0.801. So, you know, like I've said to you guys 100 times, I want to see better than that. Half inch or under is what I want for this gun, or is happy with. Alright, next one is a 2495 average FPS, 11.3 SD, and a 29.1 ES. This is a nice little group, and as you guys are going to see, there's going to be a little trend throughout all these groups, and that's going to be kind of one off to the left. This is the only extreme one really out of it, but the rest have a little bit of one as well. Alright, so this group, our furthest two apart, center to center. Yeah, about there. And I'm happy with that. Just over a half. Just over half inch, I'm happy. I always say half inch or under, but if it's just over half, you know, that's basically half inch. You know, 513, that's basically half inch. Alright, so 0.513. So middle group was good. Next group is this one here. We were at 2436 average, a 16.4 SD, and a 43.7 ES. So this one right here, which is our best looking group, ended up being our best chronograph numbers as well. It's not always the case. A lot of times I'll get a nice little group with a horrible SD, and you know, but that's what you're looking for, is nice chronograph stats with a nice group. That group should stay accurate if anything fluctuates a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be these two that are. So yet again here we got one off to the left, kind of a little high left, and the rest of the group, the rest of the four went through this little section here. Middle to middle, we're looking at about 645. 0.645, can you guys see that? I think you can. 0.645, that's still not bad. I'm not freaking angry with that, you know. Wanted it a little bit smaller, but whatever. You know, 0.6, 0.7 out of that gun, I'm still not angry with. I don't want to see inch groups, you know what I mean? I don't want to see inch or just, I don't want to see definitely over an inch, or, you know, but I don't want to see 0.9, 0.1, you know, I mean, 0.1. I want to see 0.1, yeah. I don't want to see 0.9, 1 inch, you know, don't want to see that really. Next group we got is 2449 average with a 25.2 SD and a 58.5 ES. And the total group, center to center, same as the last, 680. It actually looks kind of similar. This one had kind of two groupings on it. We had two that sat up top here, kind of where these other ones, the ones that winged a little bit left, high and left. These two kind of grouped in that area, and then the other three grouped right here in this bottom, but this one kind of double grouped. So 0.680 is what I'm kind of looking at on that one. So yeah, honestly, I'm happy with this load right here. I'm not really upset with it. Obviously, I could tune a little bit more. We're gonna load 10 thousandths off the lands. same everything. We're just going to do 10 thousandths off the lands. And I want to do 2 because 20 thousandths off the lands, yes, was our smallest group there, but I'll tell you, 10 thousandths off the lands wasn't far behind at all. Like, that was, I think 20 was 0.336, and actually it might be right here. Yeah, right there, 10 thousandths off the lands is that one right there, and that ended up being like a 0.378 or something. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but either way, it don't really matter. Yeah, 378. I got it right. So yeah, I figured I'd give that a chance as well, and if the target beats that, then we'll call that our load. But I'll tell you, this is a pretty overall around, you know, good group all around, because it's, yes, we have one, our biggest group there is a 0.801, but all hovering around 1/2 inch, other than one group, which I think was this one. No, our first one, sorry, the one that had just a hair wide left, and that's my first group, so some of that might be, obviously some of it is me, you know, on every group, some of it is me. I would say the majority of any mess up is always you or me, you know, the shooter. So I think it's probably me on that one. But other than that, I think it's pretty solid load. Pretty solid load all the way around. We'll load up 10 thousandths off the lands, and if it beats this, we'll go with that. If not, I'm happy with this load, and we're going to mark it in my book. 39.2 grains, right? Yeah, 39.2 grains, 20 off the lands for a 168 grain boat tail hollow point Hornady. So, yeah, we'll go with that. Alright guys, I'm going to get those loaded. I'm going to load the Creedmoor ones too, because right after we do the 10 thousandths off the lands, last final test on the 308, we're moving to 22 Creedmoor for a little while, and we're starting a whole new bullet on that one. Excited for that, and we'll move to Creedmoor for that bullet. We'll probably get through that bullet, then we'll move. I don't know. I may stick with Creedmoor for a little bit because I want to get to those burgers badly, and I want to order some burgers for 308. I want to order some other brands for 308, not just burgers. I want to get a burger in there. I want to get, like I said, down the range. You hate repeating myself, but you know, I'd like to get a variety of all. Barnes Burger, already have Hornady, stock full of Hornady, so Barnes Burger and Sierra. You know, those are the other 3 that are my favorite, and really good company, really good bullet. So, alright guys, I appreciate you guys commenting, all of that, everything you guys do. I appreciate, if you guys can hit the like, I appreciate that as well. And if you like seeing this stuff, it always helps if you guys subscribe too. That way you guys can get notified for when I got another one coming up. And yeah, other than that guys, I like all the feedback as well. You know, all I ask is be nice about it. If you're gonna be a dick and just, you know, say, you know, something shitty, then whatever. But I take criticism as long as you're not trolling and being an asshole about it. Absolutely. I know I'm not the best shooter, you know. Yeah, so I like you guys' criticism either way. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.